Hello, Tom Hashimoto again. So, in this lecture, we're going to be little bit theoretical, and we are going to introduce the S-curve. S-curve is something to visualize what this innovation is all about. In the beginning, you're going to have lots of catching up in the market. You're going to have lots of energy in your project. But towards the end, you're going to have a harder time penetrating in the market. So you need to move on to the next S-curve. And this jumping is what we call innovation.
What will you learn today?
We learn first case studies.
We began the last lecture, in fact this whole course, with the question, if something is new, is it innovative?
Demand for new products, like the S-curve.
We began the last lecture, in fact this whole course, with the question, if something is new, is it innovative? Quite frankly, Vernova and Nespresso might be innovative, but they are not changing the world type innovations.
Or at least perceived so. At the same time, we also listed items such as cosmetic or preservation chemicals, where technologies are rather invisible to customers.
Fujifilm is a firm specialized in films, as the name suggests. Watch the corporate promotion video to see their products.
At the end of the last lecture, you were asked to research 2 case studies, Yamaha, Vernova, and Nespresso. If you haven't done that, please catch up now. We'll come back to those case studies time throughout the course, so please keep your Again, the last lecture and this whole course with the question, something is new, defenders situation and innovation was
We are Fujifilm Europe. You use our products and technologies every day, even without knowing it. We create solutions that enhance our everyday life, keep us healthy, and preserve our natural resources. We came from light, from capturing moments and motion on film. We evolved, adapted, and became a company employing thousands of passionate professionals specializing in 7 distinct business domains. We are Fujifilm Europe, and we are working towards a bright future.
Thank you for coming.
All the colors are stunning. Wow.
Fujifilm Europe. You use our products and technologies every day, even without knowing it. We create solutions that enhance our everyday life, keep us healthy, and preserve our natural resources.
Now let us take a moment and research
Capturing moments
Instax.
and motion on film. We evolved, adapted, and became a company employing thousands of passionate professionals specializing in 7 distinct business domains. We are Fujifilm Europe, and we are working towards a bright future.
After all, Instax uses the old-fashioned technology, so it might not seem innovative.
As a digital camera or even camera on the phone dominate the market, film-based camera lost their market share. This Fujifilm instance was a huge comeback.
Here is the list of sentences, phrases I found interesting.
Instead of targeting the existing market, photographers and photo lovers instead link the existing Polaroid camera with parties and families. Younger generation, especially in Japan, jumped on this boom, and it is now sold worldwide.
In this lesson so far, we have identified 3 relationships concerning innovation. If you ask what is the cost for making a prototype, or what is the number of expected sales, then you have a business mindset.
Okay, targeting market.
Can we continue making the same products over and over again and expect higher profit?
Fujifilm is specialist in film, as the name suggests. Watch the corporate promotion video to see their products.
Now let us take a moment and research Instax. Now let us strengthen our understanding on new products with the S-curve.
Number 1 is the product innovative. Number 2 is the marketing strategy innovative. Was it a business success? For the last question, please also check the stock price of Fujifilm over the last 5 years.
Look at the S-curve.
After all, Instax uses the old-fashioned technology, so it might not seem innovative.
Now, please read Rethinking Your Innovation System. Boston Consulting, 20.
The S-curve comes from a concept that performance is constrained by physical conditions.
BCG. Rethinking Your Innovation System. Like Kim Wagner and Andrew Taylor. Companies know that innovation is one of the keys to growth. 75% of the respondents in BCG.
Now imagine you are taking this concept into innovation management.
Living through is hard to do. October 2014 brings innovation as the top 3 priority for their company. 22% said it was their company top priority. More than 60% said their company plans to increase investment in innovation in the coming year. So, where are the results? Companies are the first to admit that.
Now please imagine if you are an innovator. What kind of office environment would you like to have in order to stimulate your
Many innovation
creativity?
managers express frustration that their teams are not developing the successful new products and services, or the compelling product or service extensions that they seek. Confounding those challenges, the bar is being raised. Customers used to
What
continue
do
progress and
investors
improvement.
ultimately care about?
Expect more new technologies, especially digital advances, have conditioned customers to expect it more quickly. But long-used innovation models no longer give up. Processes are too slow.
At the end of each
Dragged out
lecture,
by too many
we do a small
mistakes
research
and get
task
clear
to reflect
decision-making
on what
has
we've
become
learned.
overly complicated and consensus-based, resulting in compromised, incremental solution with little change for a big impact. As customer expectations grow and markets evolve more quickly, companies cannot expect to innovate in the ways they used to. Innovation models themselves need to be systematically innovated. to
You can
improve
watch
and
and
adapt.
read more.
On the basis of our experience working with hundreds of companies to invigorate their innovation strategies and processes, we suggest that executives seeking to sharpen their innovation edge follow a few organizing principles. Every innovation as a system. In our view, innovation is a system, a mixture of insight and creativity, as well as a disciplined process that consistently promotes
Get a
progress.
real-time,
As to
bird's-eye
make
view of your projects.
strategy
Create
comprising
project
choices,
plans in one
but where
click.
and how to create
See the
growth
big
and
picture
value
across
in
multiple
innovation.
projects.
Supporting
Get
process
real-time
for research
updates.
and product
Create
development.
dependencies,
And enabling
and
set
bring
of
emails
Type
to
the
the
values
schedule.
in the amount column.
This
We
is
need
Right
this
Gantt
values so
charts.
that we can compute the
Plan,
percent weight of each
visualize,
item in our
and
S
share
curve.
work. Try Right Gantt charts for free.
It must evolve over time as the external environments and internal needs change.
Interesting projects. These were my questions when I first exposed to the term S-curves in projects. I didn't know the use of S-curves until I started populating S-curves in every single project cost and schedule that I issued. I realized how this simple graphical tool is useful in briefing stakeholders on understanding the project status and trends in a very quick and intuitive manner. Hello everyone, I am Shore Gorbani. I am the founder and director of Project Control Academy, an academy for learning and enhancing your skills in project controls. In this training, I'm going to open up the concept of S-curves for you so you are clear on the philosophy behind S-curve, why it's called an S-curve, what's the use of S-curves in projects, and much more. Now, going back to my earlier question, what is an S-curve? What is your understanding of S-curve? Is it the first time you're hearing this term? If not, what do you think of the S-curve without knowing anything about it? Okay, let me define S-curve for you so you are more clear on what we are talking about here. So S-curve is a graphical display of cumulative data that is plotted against time. And that cumulative data here can be anything such as cost, man-hour, quantity, progress, different type of project informations that you want to plot against time. And don't forget, S-curve is a cumulative cumulative data that you plot against time. And you may find S-curve as other names. They might call it S-plot, or another name, cumulative distribution chart, or velocity diagram, or in error value management we call it performance measurement baseline, or PME. So don't be surprised if you name it other things in projects that you have been working on, but the bottom line is you are drawing an S-curve in projects. Now, why the name is an S-curve? Is it in the shape of an S? The answer is yes. S-curve form a shape of S in most projects. So the S shape, the shallow S, is a typical shape of a cumulative graph that you will see in projects. And the reason is, if I just plot the incremental data in a project for you so you understand why the cumulative data shows like an S-curve, is because in most projects you start very slowly in the project, and then you ramp up during the project execution, and then you ramp down as you close out the project and deliver most of the deliverables and basically finishing the project. So you will see that as a typical shape in most projects. So if I convert this to a cumulative curve, then that would be something like the S-curve that you see here on the orange bar here. So that's why it creates an S shape for you based on the essence of the projects. But having said that, don't be surprised if your S-curve, the cumulative curve that we draw in a project, does not look like an S shape. The shape of an S-curve,
Steve and
depends
Dave
on
use
the
eToro
nature of
to
your
invest in the
project,
financial
what kind of
markets.
contract
Steve
you are
does
working
research on global
And depending on the project, you might see different types of S-curve. One of the most popular ones that you will see is front-loaded S-curves. And as you can see here,
traders, investors, stock market enthusiasts, my friends from around the world. Welcome to
ramping down very quickly toward the end and middle, but most of the load is at the beginning of the project. Examples would be the projects that are accelerated early on. So something happens and you're just accelerating that project quickly early on. You put on a lot of resources at the beginning of the project to finish the project based on the contract requirements. So then you will end up a curve like a dome, mini dome, half dome, rather than an S shape because you have a front-loaded plan in your project. Another example would be for repetitive projects. Something that you have, a project that you have done over and over and over again. So you are quite familiar with that, so you don't need that much of learning curve at the beginning.